Hi, Aries. Welcome to April 2019. Here we are. We have made it to Aries season. We're in it. We're doing it. I am so grateful for your fire energy. You pulled me out after the really intense energy of Pisces season. And I'm pretty excited about April. It's got it's an interesting energy because in some ways it's so much about forward motion. In some ways it's so much about slow nurturing. And the two are kind of working hand in hand. And we're just getting used to a new energetic cycle. We're just feeling it out. We've been starting to feel it out the last couple of months, and now we're really here, just getting our sea legs on, so to speak, except that it's got a little bit of an earthier vibe than a watery vibe as we move forward. So let's get into what I'm noticing for Aries already before we pull cards, before we even talk about aspects. I had a really strong note that came up for you guys, which was the word embodiment came up really strongly. And then that was with, you're experiencing your bodies like almost like a gravitational pull, where you're needing to check in with your physical bodies during your birthday season, like happy birthday, by the way. And there's something about your birthday that's bringing up a lot of this kind of feeling like you're in this body, you're in this planet, you're interacting with it consistently over time, and you're feeling like you are needing to check in with that. Check in with what's working for you. Check in with, what your body is telling you. It's going to be very communicative at this time for you moving forward. Maybe that's partially because Chiron is in your sign now, and we are kind of working through like what's working for you, what feels good to you. Where do you want to nurture yourselves a little bit more? Where do you want to incorporate new routines or shift things around a little bit, right? And where are you? And if you can do that, if you can check in with your body, check in with your embodiment, check in with where you're noticing, if there's an ache or a pain, where is it connecting with a thought process? And also making sure you're just taking good care of yourself. It helps the rest of the elements in your life fall into place. So that was the big note. Of course, this month, let's get started on the shuffling. Of course, this month you have a new moon in your sign on April 5th at 15 degrees of your sign, so right smack dab in the middle. It's a really great way to just feel refreshed. You have your birthday energy coming up here, and you are kind of in this time of being reborn, thinking about how you want to be reborn, what you want to look like. Do you want to shapeshift at all? Do you want to have a bit of a chameleon moment where you are letting this new year bring about new versions of self, new versions of wellness and happiness, right? So it's a really powerful new moon for you, I think. There's a full moon in your oppositional sign on April 19th as well. And of course, when you have an oppositional moon like that, you are checking in with relationship. Wheel of Fortune popped up, you guys. Very nice. New beginnings, right? Wheel of Fortune is a number 10. It's a shift over energy. It's very much about closing out, opening up. It's very much about elements of surprise and newness and freshness. It's definitely about the shifting of the gears. And the full moon cycle is kind of interesting because we had the Libra full moon in March, and this is another Libra full moon. So we had a 0-degree one in March. We're having a 29-degree full moon in Libra in April. So you guys got a double dose of that 7th house oppositional sign full moon over the course of basically Aries season. So you've definitely had a bit of a check-in with that as well about how you're relating to your external world, right? So there's a lot of energy going on like that. The other interesting thing about April is that we're starting outer planet retrogrades. Outer planets retrograde quite a bit of the year. That's just kind of their jam. Hierophant. That's that Uranus energy in Taurus. But, we have Jupiter going retrograde on the 10th in Sagittarius, and he'll be retrograde until August. And then we have Saturn going retrograde on the 29th, and we have Pluto going retrograde on the 24th, both in Capricorn. And those are lasting into the fall. So we're having also this subtler underpinning to all this forward motion energy, right? Taurus is now Uranus is fully in Taurus. Chiron's now in your sign. We've had a lot of directional forward-moving energy. We have Mercury going direct again, getting out of post-shadow phase during April. And then underneath that, though, we have these big, heavy hitter planets. The planet of expansion, the planet of restriction, and the planet of transformation all going retrograde for the next several months. And so behind the scenes, we're also checking in, and we're doing it. And the thing that's great about outer planet retrogrades is they're softer, it's subtler, it's a gentler retrograde experience. It's one we need, and that's why there's, you know, a good third of the year we're experiencing those types of retrogrades. High Priestess, whoa, Aries, you guys are getting some of the more intense spiritual energies here. Both of these spiritual leaders tap into the deep subconscious, where we are committing ourselves, where we are putting our emotional and physical energy. So you guys are getting a really strong infusion of that right now. Wow. But these outer planet retrogrades are Queen of Cups. Are there to help us reassess where we're putting our effort, where we are visualizing. And for Aries, you know, the Jupiter retrograde in Sagittarius is so much about your ninth house. It's so much about your world vision, your world view. And it going retrograde is helping you to think about that. Here you guys are, the Emperor. Hi. How much major arcana can Aries get in one reading? That's what I would like to know. Okay, so I'm kind of noticing here, and I got goosebumps a little bit. I'm kind of noticing here with the energy, it's like we start off the month, actually during your birthday season, during your new moon, during all of this, we're starting it off very spiritual, esoteric, hidden, quiet, intuitive, introspective, Two of Pentacles. Interesting. And then we start hitting into your energy a little bit. And that's what I was saying, like this embodiment thing, you may find that your body is speaking to you, and it's trying to probably have you slow down and check in with your intuitive process, with your energy systems, with all of that going on. It's probably trying to get you to listen into any kind of cues or information coming in, because you have so much of this psychic spiritual energy that's coming through. Strength. Okay, I like that. But as you kind of trust into that a little bit more, and as you're listening in and you're getting those cues and those clues from kind of your inner being, your higher consciousness, and that's where the good stuff's coming in for you this month, that's when you get to act and move in the way that you like to move, act and move, right? So it's like, first we check in with yourselves, first we check in with your energy and with your body and with whatever messages are coming through. First, we feel through that on a much more energetic, watery level. Then we get Aries at your full impact, at your full embodiment, at your full forward motion. And that's what I like to see, right? I like to be able to tell you guys, okay, we're going to tap into your like hearts and souls. We're going to tap into your emotional core. And then we're going to let you fly. Temperance. Ooh, oh my gosh, you guys, we got all three of the fire signs in your reading today. It's family, man. It's family. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That's wild. You know what this is telling me, and I haven't done Leo or Sag their readings yet, so this is really interesting, and I'll be curious to see how those two. But the fire family is going to be deeply connected this month with how the month plays out and how it affects each of us. Now, other fire signs are going to get you. They're going to get what's going on with you. So that's a message that just came through for me. But wow, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Like to have the fire family all together in a reading like that. But yeah, that's what I like to say. It's like, okay, we're going to check in with you. We're going to make sure that you are just feeling connected, that you're honoring your body, that you're honoring your physicality, because you guys are very physical beings. But we're doing it on that more subtle, intuitive side, and then we really see you guys feeling fully embodied, fully empowered, fully able to move. Okay, so let's talk through these cards because there is a bit of a revolution going on in your world. When the Wheel of Fortune comes out as your first card, we know that Aries, you guys are the wheel of the year is turning, and of course you hold a very special spot in the symbolic nature of our world. Being Aries, you guys have that kind of turn of the wheel energy. You're cardinal fire, you're the first zodiac sign. So you kind of live within this revolutionary energy like all the time almost. And there does seem to be something going on here with a turning over a new leaf. Now, the Wheel of Fortune can show up in so many different ways. It can show up as a change in location, a change in relationship, a change in work, a change in mentality, right? A lot of times it's just that knowing and that trusting in new beginnings, trusting in the fact that certain things have left, that certain aspects have gone away, and that it is now time for the next aspect to arrive. And the Wheel of Fortune doesn't always show us everything that's going to happen next in order for all the right elements to line up for us in order for us to move in the way we want to move. The Wheel of Fortune doesn't always give us everything right away, but it does give us that knowing that something has to shift and knowing exactly what that something is, even if we don't have steps A through Z figured out. Now, for you guys, the Wheel of Fortune is showing up on the spiritual level. It's showing up on the energetic level. So I guess what I'm saying there is that you're going to be aware of what you want to change in your lifestyle. You're going to be aware of the elements that need to shift through in your lifestyle and who you are. But the way that you're getting that information isn't so much about the external world putting it on you. It isn't so much about external drama. It has a lot more to do with your energetic system. Your body's giving you a lot of these signals, by the way. But, your body is just speaking with your soul. It's all tied together, right? Because you get 3 of the most intuitive, psychic, energy-based energies working with you in this Wheel of Fortune. 1, 2, 3, all in a row. Boom, boom, boom. And that's quite powerful. So we have 3 very intuitive leaders. Now, the thing with Hierophant that's interesting is this is often considered commitment energy. He's very grounded. He's a spiritual leader, right? He's like the older teacher, the older philosopher who can kind of sit there and give you information. It's authority figure, and a lot of times it has to do with grounded institutions. It has to do with things that are very well established in the world. It does also have to do, though, with the way we see the world, with our philosophy in the world. And so there's something about what you're committing to and where you're putting your real world energy. Once again, Uranus is in Taurus for several years now, and we're getting used to this new transit. And it's an interesting one because it's a revolution. It's a planet of revolution in a fixed Earth sign. And so the nurturing quality of turning over the soil and shifting it through is really a big part of that. Now, you guys are going to be feeling that. It's a neighboring sign to you. It's second house energy of value. And I'm noticing that whatever you have been committing to, you are really looking at. You are really looking at what feels good to commit to and what feels heavy. What feels like you are encased and stuck and not getting to move the way you want to. Now, your answers are coming through very watery, mysterious, esoteric ways of knowing. High Priestess and Queen of Cups are known for the kind of directions that are given that seem nonsensical at first. And they often speak to us through dreams. Through moments of deja vu, and through those moments, you're just going on a long walk or you're listening to a song and you get something comes through. So you're going to have to trust into this a little bit because this is very subtle, quiet energy. It works behind the scenes. It works in the hidden. Now, maybe you have some watery energies around you or people who aren't showing all of their cards as well. That's possible. However, here's the thing that I will say about you guys this month. It's your birthday season. You are working through some big things. You are working through some big renewal. This month isn't so much about you making other people line up with you or worrying about what other people are doing. It's not. And you can't go there and get the good information. The good information is coming from within, and you will get redirected to check in with that over and over again. But here's the good news, you guys. These are all beautiful cards. I want to first very much enunciate that these 4 cards are so much about abundance and emotional connection and renewal and change. But you're kind of having to lean into this other part of yourself and lean into a part of the process that can feel a little amorphous, a little foggy, and a little vague, especially if it is your birthday and you want to be having fun and you want to be celebrating and you want to be playing and you're having this kind of pull to check in with your body and check in with your spirit. But the good news is that if you're willing to just fall back into that just a little bit, just feel through it, you get that infusion of your energy, right? You get to pull back into your emperor position again. And that's where things start to fall into place. That's where you start to feel fully like yourself again. And so there's a process going on here. As we work our way through the sun being in your sign, we're going to be getting more and more of this Emperor energy. It's going to actually get stronger. And what's great about Emperor as compared to High Priestess and Queen of Cups and even Hierophant, the Emperor has that clear vision of where he's going next, right? So where we start with a big question at the beginning of the month, by the middle of the month, we have an answer. It's question, answer, call and response almost. Now here's the thing that's interesting for you guys. You step back into your Emperor role, you step back into your clarity of knowing, you step back into your self-knowing, that confidence that you guys exude that is so powerful and strong, and I just love it so much. And part of what this answer comes with is a question about what you want to do, right? There's a fork in the road coming up here for you. It's tied to the Wheel of Fortune. It's tied to the Hierophant. It's tied to concepts of commitment and where you're wanting to commit. And there is a question here of there's something that you want to commit to and there's something that you want to step away from. And I think both are happening. Now, the Two of Pentacles is a fork in the road. It is a weighing out of what's working for you. It is a reevaluation energy. And the key with the Two of Pentacles is what is true for you. What makes you feel good? Not what you're doing for other people, not how other people are going to take it. What feels authentic to you? What feels like you expressing yourself fully and happily and easily, right? Now, you have some allies here. And it makes me happy to see that. You have Strength and Temperance. Now, of course, this is Leo and Sagittarian energy. Of course, these cards represent those two signs. So, like I said, the fire family is clearly interconnected this month. We often are. We're all interlinked. You know how I feel about the fire family. It's the best. So we clearly have that. But here's what's interesting about Strength and Temperance in the fire family conversation, right? These are both about restraint, actually, which is really interesting, right? Because you don't really think of any of the fire signs as associated with restraint. But here's the thing, Strength is about she's not unleashing the lion onto the crowd. She's like, I have this lion over here. Come over and see it. And Temperance is the tempering of heat. When things get really too hot, when you're almost burning up, Temperance comes in and says, how can we temper that heat? How can we make it so that it can be comfortable? How can we make it so that it is nurturing, so that we can pull back a little bit, so that we can play the long game, so that we don't burn through all of our resources? So both of them are about, we have these really powerful resources that we can just push forward into, and we can just unleash, and we can just make things happen. But if we start to use our energy in a more sustainable fashion, we can go for a long time. And so what I'm noticing with you this month is there is steady progress this month for you. There is steady success for you this month. There are steady open doors coming your way. But you may feel discouraged at times where it almost feels like nothing's changing. Nothing's changing, come on, but once you look back at this month, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be like, whoa, I got a lot done. A lot changed. A lot of answers came in, and I'm somewhere very new that I wasn't at the beginning of the month. I have revolutionized my life. It just did not look the way that I thought it was going to look. That is guaranteed, my friends. You think, as you're watching this reading, you're going to be like, I think I know how I want that change. I think I know how I want that commitment to go. I think I know how I want that revolution to happen in my life. And that revolution is coming. It's going to come in these nice bite-sized chunks that are actually quite sustainable. So that's a good thing. And by the time you get to the month, you'll realize what the revolution was, and it is not what you're expecting. But it's going to help you feel a lot more like your Aries self, and that you can express the way that belongs to you, and that you can be authentic in that, and that you're not just juggling things just to keep other people happy, just to play the role that you feel you're supposed to play, right? And that is so important for you guys. That is so important for you to authentically express and not feel that you're carrying all the weight. We've talked about that a ton, but it keeps coming up. So clearly you guys are kind of finding a new way to express your Aries-ness in a way that feels good to you. And there is a big theme of reassessment this month, for sure. And you're going to have to trust into this a little bit. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to have to trust into what your body's telling you, what your soul is telling you, and what these little breadcrumb trail that's coming your way is going to be teaching you. Trust the breadcrumb trail. You are accounted for. You are safe. You are held. You are loved. It will open gently but surely. I love you guys so much. You can find me on my Instagram at Sarah Verba. You can also find me on my website, SARAHTAROT.com. I am still booking sessions. I'm just booking a few months out, so you'll want to plan ahead. You can find all my contact info in the description box. I'm wearing PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry today. As usual, the crown came back out because I love it and it cheers me up. She's always got different things in her shop, so I'll leave her Etsy shop below. She loves you guys, so she's giving you 15% off if you use her promo code. All of that info is in the description box. I will keep you posted on what is going on in the world, and my world, and what services I'll be offering and what's going to be coming up on the horizon. Lots of exciting stuff. I'm sending you guys so much love. Happy birthday. You know how I feel about you, and I hope you have a magical, amazing time. Bye.